Hi, this is the story of Light Upon Light and Verse by Verse Quran. So Light Upon Light is a website that I created in early 2000, maybe 2001 or so, something like that. The idea was to create a website that people could watch Islamic videos for free, and this is much before YouTube. And why I wanted to do this was because the only way to watch Islamic lectures was either you had to find an event, local event where you could go to, or you'd have to, go to these Islamic stores and buy these VHS tapes, which were like 15, 20 bucks, like Siraj Wahaj. I bought a bunch of Siraj Wahaj, Hamza Yusuf, Ahmed Didat. These are the lectures I used to buy, and they're like 15, 20 bucks just for one video. So quite expensive and not quite scalable, for spreading the message. I wanted to make it easy for people to learn about Islam and to follow, the way of life, which I thought was the best way of life, which I'd converted to. And so this was my dream. People told me it's going to be very difficult, it's going to be very expensive, because at that time, online video hosting was not cheap. So I would have to pay a lot of money for that. But I was determined, I wanted to do it. The only other website at that time which had Islamic videos was Islamicity, and it was a paid membership website, so you couldn't really, if you didn't have money, you wouldn't be able to watch, right? And so I started on my mission to get Islamic videos available for the community. What I did was I tried getting permission from publishers who made those VHS tapes, if I could put them online. I bought some equipment for my computer, and I started copying some of them. As well, what I did was I actually bought a video camera, and I started to go to local events, conferences. ISNA conference was one of them, where actually, they had different speakers from the Muslim Student Association and people that, more famous ones as well. And I would get permission to record them and put them online. Excuse me. Most of them told me they didn't want me to put it online, and sometimes the conference would get angry and, would ban me from making videos. But for the most part, the challenge was, getting videos. As well, I used to go to these new Muslim conferences where people would talk about how they accepted Islam, and I would record these videos, and I actually have a bunch of them, which I put online as well. And so this was my thing. I used to go from mosque to mosque. I used to go to these Islamic events. I would record them. I would be constantly asking for permission, and I got lucky. At one point, I had one publisher. He gave me permission to put all of his VCDs at the time online. So I uploaded a whole bunch of them, and I always wanted to keep it free of charge. I never wanted to charge money for this, and so it continued to be free of charge. I took care of the expenses, and I received some donations online to help cover the costs. As well, I made DVDs when DVD technology became more common. I created DVDs, I burned them, and I used to sell them. They were like $20 for 3 DVDs, and that would help with the costs as well. And eventually Light Upon Light became so popular. There was maybe I think a couple million downloads in total over the history of the website. And if you look on there, there were even articles on jihad and articles on being a proper Muslim and following Islam, and as well the videos I used to host. Right, I didn't put as much effort into it as time went by, because YouTube became popular and people started to upload Islamic videos on there, and so I started uploading some videos on YouTube as well. But the website stayed there pretty much until 2015, I believe, is when I stopped. I put a notice on there that I'm no longer Muslim, and you can still see that notice on LightUponLight.com. Now, my second website, VerseByVerseQuran.com. Why did I create it? Again, I think it was maybe 2007 or so. I'm not sure when. It was many years ago, probably like 10 years ago. I wanted to make a Quran app for my dad, and I wanted him to read the Quran. So what I did was I started making the app in Flash. It was Macromedia Flash. And what happened was I found it was difficult to get the audio files. I wanted the audio files split in, a verse by verse. Each individual verse would be one file. But the only thing you find online is mainly each chapter by chapter, not verse by verse. So what I had to do was I contacted a few people, including Quran Reciter and a few websites a few apps / websites that had the data. But most of them, they didn't want to share it with me. They wanted their website to be the most popular one, and they didn't want anyone else to compete with them. So what I did is I decided to make my own website, Verse by Verse Quran, And I hired someone in Egypt to split the Quran into individual pieces. It wasn't too expensive for the amount of work that was done. Each recitation, which was like 20 hours to 40 hours of audio, they literally just had to press a button after every verse just to split it, and I took care of the technology of actually getting into individual files, uploading it, hosting it, and putting it for free along with zip file versions. So the hard part, or the, let's say, time-consuming part, was outsourced to Egypt. It was about $100 per recitation, $100 US we would pay. And again, I managed to handle this with a little bit of a small business that I had, as well as some donations that I was receiving. And so over the last 10 years, we had more than probably, like, I don't know, 20 or 30 different recitations, and over several $1,000s of effort into getting the Quran in a format. And the whole project was open source. It was for anybody to download, to use. And many big websites, including Tanzil. Tanzil was one website, Allah's Quran, even the King Faisal University Quran Complex. Sorry, King Fahad, I think it is. Is it King Faisal? I can't remember. Their official Quran.ksu.edu. They also used some recitations that we worked on. So it was a pretty popular website. Something I was very proud of and really amazed about, that I managed to achieve this. And of course, why did I do it is because I wanted to help the community, and I wanted to help the Muslim Ummah, and I wanted to spread the Quran all over the world. So this is what I did, and this is how I managed to get it there. Is I created an open project that anyone could benefit from. I didn't want to be like those other guys that made their own little Quran projects and they didn't share with anybody, and nobody could benefit from it. I wanted it to be available for everybody, and for the community to spread the Quran far and wide. The Verse by Verse Quran project, the files as well, we would allow people to link to it directly. At its most busy time, there was more than 2,000 people downloading at any one point. Like, just at one, when you check the server, there was 2,000 connections, and that would be like in Ramadan. Outside of Ramadan, it would be like maybe like 600 to 800 people at any one point downloading the Quran files and listening to them. So it was, I'd say it was a successful project. And obviously now I'm not Muslim anymore. I left Islam, after I started to find doubts in the Quran being of a divine nature. And so I no longer maintain those projects. I've moved on, and I'm hoping to use my skills to what I've learned after I left Islam. I want to share that with the world. I want people to see that things are not as they seem. When it comes to Quran, Quran or the Bible or any other holy book, you need to be a little bit skeptical, and you need to look into the evidence for it to see, is it really true or not. You can't just believe it because of what people tell you or what you've read, from biased sources. You have to be as unbiased as possible and look for the evidence for and against it. I hope that sharing this story will give some motivation to people, that even the most ardent religious people can eventually find the truth about this world, that God didn't send any revelation to us, and we're here on our own, and we have to take care of ourselves. There's nobody out there watching us, taking care of us. As they say, shit happens. Sometimes planes crash, cars crash, people get sick, people die. There's nobody out there. There's no divine plan. As far as I can tell, everything is just happening just for natural causes. And so the Quran itself, once I lost faith in that, I lost faith in God in general. And I don't want to get into that too much in this video. I just wanted to share the history of Verse by Verse Quran and Light Upon Light. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please subscribe, and I'll share some more interesting stories and tidbits in the future. Thanks. Bye.